here at Wabash Feed and Garden, and we're gonna do a little run through on some of our in-stock medicinal herbs and tell you a couple of things about how to prepare them, what their common uses are, and any known side effects, if that's even an option for some. Many of these plants are safe in all doses, so it's a pretty exciting way to look to alternative medicines in the times of coronavirus. So let me begin with one of the least medicinal plants, but probably one of the best smelling plants, patchouli. So this is the plant that the patchouli oil actually comes from. So if you've ever made sachets of dried patchouli for your bathroom, or if you've ever had a perfume that had patchouli oil in it, you will know what this smells like. The plant itself, when you rub its leaves, you can smell that nice, musky, warm, almost vanilla-y aroma. This one is not so medicinal as it is aromatic. However, many of the essential oils are known to help induce like a calming sense, relieve anxiety, things of that nature. So this one, you will just take the leaves, dry them. You can hang them up in a relatively low light space. It doesn't need to be dark. And hang the leaves up upside down until they're fully dried out. And if you want to get an oil from them, you'll kind of grind them up into a fine pulp and you'll press out the plant oils. You can either do that with them dried or with them fresh. However, they last longer as far as smelling goes when they're dried. So here's patchouli. Wonderful but well-known plant. Also, it's very decorative and beautiful. Next up, we have something everyone may know but not know the use of, oregano. So this is one of our many types of oregano that we have here at Wabash. And if you ever come in, you know, it's coming to be Thanksgiving time, so everyone's looking for their herbs for the holidays. However, oregano is actually an excellent treatment of digestive issues, of inflammation, of basically stomach upset in general. The oil of oregano is really well known to help with that, as well as to help treat, on some occasions, IBS. So if you have anything related to gastrointestinal problems, oil of oregano is the way to go. And again, like the oil of patchouli, you can take the leaves, smash them up into a pulp, or even blend them and squeeze them out to get the oils. Very easy process. Or you can just eat the leaves straight up. Totally topical, and depending on what you're looking for, this is the oil to go with. A side effect for oil of oregano is that some people may actually experience upset stomach. So it wouldn't be anything too crazy. It would just be like if you eat mint, you know, on an empty stomach, sometimes you'll know your stomach feels a little gurgly. Nothing too crazy. So oil of oregano, great for that. Next up, we have a less well-known herb, salad Burnett herb. This is a beautiful perennial plant. So not only is it known for its decorative beauty, it'll shoot up a lovely red bloom that comes at the top, but it's also in the rose family. Who could have known? Salad Burnett is a plant that's been around for centuries, and it's been well known, you know, in old medieval Europe because it's from originally Southern Europe. This variety came around. But salad Burnett is great as well for treating inflammation. It's really wonderful for treating also some stomach issues. People have been known to take the leaves and put it on poultice to help stop bleeding. It's really an all-in-one kind of plant. Really not that well known, but a wonderful herb. No side effects. It doesn't matter how much you take of it, no matter the dose, salad Burnett will treat you well. And it tastes great. So you have many options to do with. People either take the leaves and make a poultice out of it to put on burns or wounds, or they eat the leaves. It all does great stuff for your system, and it has a lot of vitamin C in it. Another good consideration in these times. Next up, I should say I love medicinal herbs, especially the lesser known ones. So we have rue. So this plant is a wonderful plant. Not only is it decorative, there are many species of rue. Some you may know as wild rue. This is a more domesticated version that's been around since the Roman and Greek era. Very ancient herb. It's also beautiful. It shoots up small yellow flowers that almost look like, I believe they look like little kind of caps, mushroom caps of flowers. And the flowers, as well as the leaves, are used in medicinal purposes. You know, ancient Greeks used to use this as an anti-magic herb. So they would actually take this herb and eat it if they were suspected that they were being magicked by the gods. It's a really wonderful herb. It's also known to, in more folkloric traditions, to keep witchery away, or to keep any magicking away from you. So as far as folkloric traditions go, that's one that this is well known for, particularly in different communities, like many communities in South America see this as a very folkloric herb. Some people like to put it in front of their doors to make sure that any bad intentioning people aren't allowed to come in. However, rue is also a really great anti-fever herb. So you can take the leaves, make it into a tonic, make it into a tea. You dry the leaves, put it in a tea bag, and drink like 1 to 2 cups a day to help break a fever. Good to know in these times. So this is a really wonderful herb, and it's beautiful. So this one, if you take it in high doses, people say that it can be bad for you. However, high doses should not be something to be frightened of. That means you're eating like a full plant every day, which no sane person would do. So keeping that in mind. It's a great medicinal herb otherwise, and everyone should really be using this plant more. Next up, we have holy basil. A wonderful herb. Holy basil, not your average basil. This basil puts off lovely little purple flowers, purple and white flowers. You can see right here the slightest beginning of the buds. They're beautiful. Bees love them. This is a great pollinator attractant in your garden, but it is also a wonderful tea plant. Many communities in the region of like Southeast Asia really love to use this plant in all types of ways. Eat the leaves, make it into a tea, make it into a powder. There's no overdosing on this beautiful herb. It smells a lot like basil, but it is more of a lemony smell almost. And in India, it's a very, again, folkloric herb. It's really associated with a lot of different communities. However, it is a wonderful herb for helping relax people. It's been known to be like a tonic for the nerves, so you'll take it and dry it out and make it into a tea, or again, just eating the leaves. Some people call it the nectar of immortality. It's got a lot of really wonderful nutritional facts, and it's got a lot of wonderful minerals in it. Vitamin C as well is a high potent one in this wonderful herb. And this is just a really wonderful smelling herb. So put it in your garden, it'll do nothing but good. And that is holy basil. Next up, we've got a popular one, chamomile. Don't be surprised by the small size of this beautiful flowering plant. Chamomile is one that many people know. Similar to holy basil, it is an herb that when you take the flowers, so unlike many of these other ones, the flowers are the main part to use. You can use the leaves, but the flowers are what you dry and make tea out of. Chamomile tea is a wonderful tea for, again, relaxation, for helping against insomnia, for helping just go to bed at night. It's a wonderful herb for that. Many people know chamomile, so I won't go into depth on this one, but we have it here. Next up, we've got sorrel, red-veined sorrel, a beautiful medicinal herb that has very exciting properties. So red-veined sorrel, while a small plant, it's similar to the green French sorrel that many of us know to put in salad mixes. However, sorrel as a whole family is actually one of the main ingredients in a popular cancer treatment that we all use today in doctor's offices. So sorrel, you eat the leaves, just straight up. And again, there's no side effects for this plant. It's a really easy to digest herb, and it's full of nutritional properties as well. But many of the anti-carcinogenic properties of this plant are taken when you ingest the plant. So any way of eating sorrel is a good way. Consider taking it into your diet as a more regular factor. Next up, we have a very popular plant, French lavender. Many of you all know this herb just for its beautiful smelling flowers. and the way that it grows so big and large. But French lavender is also an anti-inflammatory. So if you take the petals and or the leaves and or the dried flowers and you make it into a tea, or if you make it into a simple syrup even, you can actually experience anti-inflammatory properties in like medium range doses. So having 1 to 2 cups of this kind of tea a day will help reduce swelling, will help with any kind of swollen veins in your body. It's a really wonderful plant for that, as well as, again, a sleep tonic, a sleep aid, a relaxation booster. So nothing wrong with that. When you're homebound, it's going to be nice to have some good smelling herbs around your house. Alrighty. And the last but not least on this tray, we have one more plant to show you after this one, but we have Vicks Vaporub plant. No tag here, but this plant is exactly as it sounds, the plant that you get the Vicks Vaporub from. So similar to Vicks Vaporub, you take the leaves, you can grind them up a little bit and put them in a petroleum jelly to get that oil smell into your petroleum jelly, and then you can put that topically on your skin or under your nose, or you can make it into a tea, or you can just boil it, and if you breathe in the fumes, it'll help relieve sinus pressure, relax bronchial issues in general. It's a really wonderful plant, and it smells very strongly. So this is a great little known plant. It grows pretty easily, so you won't have any problem with that in your garden. Vicks Vaporub plant, another wonderful one. And of course, last but not least, I'm going to take you on a journey through the garden for one more plant. Of course, the turmeric plant. Follow me. Everything goes good. The last plant of the day. Took you on a little garden journey there. Normally I would be wearing my mask, of course. Turmeric. So this, the curcumin longa, is a wonderful medicinal plant. Very similar to sorrel. It's a commonly used treatment for any kind of ailment, particularly with cancer. It is highly potent. You take the roots, the actual tuber of turmeric, and you can either eat it like ginger, apply it topically, make a powder out of it, make a paste out of it, and it is so wonderful for anti-inflammatory purposes, for upset stomach, for IBS, for treatment of any kind of swollen or inflamed nerves that you have or body parts. It's a wonderful medicinal plant. I couldn't recommend it any more highly, and a great one to end on for our medicinal plant journey. However, if you ever come back to Wabash Garden and Feed, you'll know that we get in plenty of shipments of new herbs from our lovely gardeners and suppliers out here. So we're always getting in different medicinal plants. If you ever have any questions, my name is Madison Moore, and we at Wabash Feed and Garden are here to help and answer them.